can we just assess this new software? Focused on me, blurred background, hit the intro. Welcome to my first official skin video. Had a couple of requests as to what people are wanting, and the main one was like a congested, spotty skin or an acne skin. And I thought rather than doing a full video on every product that you could possibly use, why not break it down and do a little bit of a series? As you might have guessed by the video title, my first video is going to be salicylic acid. Salicylic acid is a BHA, which is a beta hydroxy acid. And the way in which I describe this to my clients is a little bit like Pac-Man. So the minute that it's applied to the skin, it will essentially eat away all the buildup of dirt and bacteria that's within the pores and clean them out, really. Salicylic acid is one of those products that can work instantaneously, but over continued use you'll start to see more improvement and better results. What I kind of want these videos to be about are my recommendations, and also to help you and guide you into fitting the right one into your skincare routine. I recommend these sorts of products to a lot of my clients, but people can get a little bit confused as to what I actually mean when I say a salicylic acid. So I thought this was a good starting point to try and introduce you to a few that I use personally and a few that I use within treatment. So, as I've mentioned, salicylic acid works a little bit like a Pac-Man. The moment it's applied to the skin, it starts to penetrate deep and work deep within the layers of skin to reach where the buildup of inflammation or bacteria is. It essentially clears that out and basically rids the skin of a spot. Don't get me wrong, these things don't happen straight away, and it's not going to be a case of applying salicylic acid and having completely clear skin. It's like anything, good things take time, and it's all about trusting the process. Even though salicylic acid is a beta hydroxy acid and it works on the deeper layers of the skin, I always say be wary. A little bit too much of something isn't always good. I would say, even though some products out there say you can use them daily, I would leave salicylic acid, and this is just my opinion, to around 2 to 3 times a week max. But then depending on what your skin concerns are, you can always dot the product. So for example, at the moment, I've been using salicylic acid a little bit down here with some hormonal acne that I've broken out with, and also a little bit in my hairline. So the products that I'm going to be showing you are some of my absolute favourites. There are many others out there on the market, but these are just what I've come across doing my own research. I am still yet to try the 𝐂𝐥𝐸 salicylic acid, and I'm still yet to try Paula's Choice, BHA, I think it's called BHA Exfoliating. I'm still yet to try these products, and I will get there at some point, but I've just got a lot to go through, which you will see in a second. This is my go-to salicylic acid cleanser. Can we just take a moment to assess how that focus worked? I'm enjoying this software a lot. So I wondered how this would. I feel like a YouTuber. I absolutely love this cleanser, as you can tell. Maximum times a week I would probably use this will be twice, and it's only when I'm feeling a little bit congested. So like I mentioned before, sometimes even though salicylic acid works as a BHA which penetrates deep, a little bit too much can sometimes break down the actual barrier and work a little bit like an AHA. Now this is just my experience with it, and it could just be my skin type, but this is why when I recommend to clients, only use it around 2 to 3 times a week. Now this is ideal also for anything like acne, or if you get maybe a few ingrowing hairs on your legs after shaving, or even the bikini line, but be careful with the pH balance. But this is literally my go-to salicylic acid cleanser. Another form of salicylic acid that I do like to use is a mask form. The Ordinary, love The Ordinary, based on formulation, and that is what I love about this brand. So a mask. This is where you kind of have to choose what you find appropriate to fit into your routine and your schedule. This mask is a black charcoal mask. I do love it. It's just finding the time to apply it, and that's where some other products that I'm going to talk about will come in, maybe better suited to your routine like they do mine. So with this, you can apply it obviously as a full mask if you really wanted to, or you could literally dot it on areas and do a bit of a a map. Maybe apply some other masks with it and just focus on certain skin concerns with this particular product. So with this mask, the actual directions are use once or twice a week. Now I would say for any face mask, once a week is plenty, but it just depends on your routine, your skin type and your schedule. So yeah, I do like this product and I do use it sometimes, but it just depends. So yeah, salicylic acid mask from The Ordinary, and I'm thoroughly enjoying being a YouTuber. Next we have the Revolution Salicylic Acid 2%. Now I want to talk a little bit about percents and over-the-counter salicylic acid products. So the majority of salicylic acid products that you can buy over the counter will be 2%. That is the legal limit that you can sell over the counter. When you have, say, a treatment in clinic with myself or with another professional, the percent will be a lot higher. So for example, one of the peels that I offer is 20%, which is absolutely amazing. But obviously you've got to be a trained professional to use these sorts of products. But these are ideal for home use, either in between treatments or within your routine with other products. So this is literally my go-to product when it comes down to salicylic acid. I do love my cleanser and I like a mask, but this fits into my routine perfectly because when I tend to get the odd blemish or the odd breakout, it's mainly just the odd one. So I can literally dot this on the area and do the rest of my routine everywhere else. So the reason I actually bought this product was because The Ordinary, and actually, well, I think they are still working on a new formulation for their salicylic acid, and it was just by doing research that I thought, you know what, that's going straight in my basket. So it did, and I love it. The next product I'm going to speak about, I probably wouldn't buy again, but I'm glad that I've got it. So it's actually CeraVe as well, and this is the Salicylic Smoothing Cream. Now I absolutely love this, but for my body. So like I mentioned before with the cleanser, so these kind of come together. Like I mentioned before with the cleanser, which is great for the back or ingrowing hairs on the legs or maybe a little bit of back knee, this is kind of ideal for that. I find it a little bit too thick for the skin, and I feel like salicylic acid should be more of that serum consistency that goes under your moisturiser. But it's each to their own, and that's why I kind of want to speak about it as well. I'm going to go through everything that I've got that contains salicylic acid. I'd say stick to a serum personally, and that is just my opinion. I've actually not used this yet. I saw it in Home Bargains and I just had to buy it. I've seen this brand pop up a couple of times and a couple of clients have actually messaged me about it, and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to try that because it's not a serum, it's not a mask, it's not a cleanser, and it's not a moisturiser. It's actually a tonic. Now I'm probably going to do a video at some point on tonics and toners and how they can get confused in the industry and how people can get sold things thinking they're a hydrator when they're not. They're more of an AHA, which is an alpha hydroxy acid, which is something that essentially exfoliates the epidermal layer of the skin, which is something that you do not want to be doing if you think you're applying something that is hydrating. I've not actually tried this yet, and even though it says salicylic acid tonic, it's actually also got a little bit of niacinamide in there as well. Now this is where I'm going to make these into a little bit of a series and talk to you about different products that you can use on your skin that can help with congestion. It does actually say to use daily on here. Now, like I've mentioned before, it's down to each individual skin type as to how often you want to apply salicylic acid, and it's something that I'm going to try and cover on other videos that I'm going to do, where I talk about the fact that sometimes drying things out or using something like salicylic acid isn't always best for spots. I am an advocate for moisturising spots because sometimes when you break down the skin to clear out the pores, sometimes you can do a little bit too much drying and essentially spread things. And this is why I want to do this as a bit more of a series and cover one thing at once. So niacinamide is in there, but I'm not going to talk about it now. It will be at a later date in another video, and I can obviously go through the different forms of that, but that is something to bear in mind because I absolutely love niacinamide. Something I'm actually going to speak about now isn't actually salicylic acid. It's something completely different. It's not a BHA, it's not an AHA, but it's on the same wavelength as such as salicylic acid, but ideal for those people that maybe have a sensitive skin type, or maybe for someone that wants to add something into their routine where they're not having to think, have I applied it already? How's my skin doing? Has my skin dried out? Is it irritating? Or doesn't get out of that routine of it? And it's actually another Ordinary product, Salicylic acid, and I absolutely love this. So it's ideal for those clients out there that, like I say, have got a sensitive skin type, that maybe have a little bit of rosacea. It's also ideal for people that have maybe got a little bit of hyperpigmentation. It is one of those products where, like I say, if you are a bit scared maybe of using salicylic acid because it's gonna, you feel like it might do a little bit more harm, or it maybe dries your skin out a little bit too much, maybe you've tried it in the past, this is ideal because it works so slowly. You can actually use this every single day and every single night. It just depends obviously on the other products that you've got into your skincare routine. But honestly, I absolutely love this product and it feels so nice as well when it's applied to the skin. Now, I'm showing you obviously certain brands. This is from The Ordinary, but I know that there are other brands that do these sorts of products as well. It's just about finding ones that suit you and meet your budget. But like I've mentioned, I will link them all below so you can obviously do your own research into them. Now, I don't want to talk too much about this product because I will probably at some point do a video on it or maybe touch on it again in other videos. But it is something that is ideal for those people out there that don't want to go straight in at maybe a salicylic acid. So yeah, I thought I'd show you that as well, even though it's technically not a salicylic acid. I need to put it in front of my face, don't I? I actually can't get over that. Stop it. So as part of my business and my Instagram page that I have, I do something called Chloe's Classroom, and I'm actually going to post my Chloe's Classroom posts on these products. So if you want to as well, I'll also try and link them so you can actually follow and see them up close and in more detail, and obviously look at other posts that I do as well. But I just thought that this was kind of a good starting point to talk a little bit about what you can start to do now to help with your skin. It comes down to a spot that I may have on myself. I don't always reach for a salicylic acid based product. Sometimes I actually reach for a hyaluronic acid based product, and this is purely down to the fact that some spots don't need to be dried out as such. Now, hyaluronic acid isn't necessarily a drying out product, but you can get that kind of effect sometimes if you overdo it. So this is where I'm going to try and do a series of these videos to help teach you a little bit about the different products that you can apply. I hope you like this video on salicylic acid. I thought it was just a good starting point to kick off the skincare videos, and like I say, do a series on different products that can help certain skin types. This hopefully is just giving you a little bit of an idea as to how salicylic actually works on the skin. And if you like this video, obviously do what you've got to do. You know what I mean? I hope you enjoyed this video as my first skincare video, and if you would like to know any more about skincare or would like to request a certain video or have any questions, you know what to do. It comes down to spots. I don't always reach for hyaluronic acid. What? We're talking about salicylic. One, two. So